The following moments may contain explicit language.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Feels so good. Welcome back, everybody, to Uncanceled Culture, broadcasting live from the Ukraine, from President Zelensky's office.
Even when I saw the name Zelensky, I was like, brake pads? What's going on here? Tommy boy.
We sell American parts for the American people. That's true, though. That's true.
What did he say? You know, I could put a polish shit in the box, wrap it up real nice. Tell you have a warranty, real something like that.
Well, I can tell you. I don't know how he says it.
I could take a good look at butchers.
Yeah, I can bull's ass, but I'd rather take your word for it or shit like that.
Wait a minute, it has to be your bull. And
Richard, what did you do? And that is from, of course, Tommy Boy. One of the greatest. Chris Farley, man. You know, when all that Saturday Night Live thing was going on, I was wondering what they were going to do. And
to honor him? Or?
Yeah, and I'm glad that Sandler did it.
Yeah.
I mean, of all people, it had to have been him. But, yeah, we're in the Ukraine right now. But reporting from the Gulf of America. What is up, everybody? I'm Porky.
The Louie. Hey.
Hey, we're the monkeys. People say we monkey around. Hey, man, you know what? I'll tell you. Ever since Christina was on, and no, I'm being serious.
I want to hear it.
I'm being serious. So ever since she's been on, she said something that kind of been rattling around in my brain, right? Because she was talking about a platform.
She said a lot of things.
Well, she said a lot.
But yes.
She said a shit ton. But yeah, she was talking about platforms, right? We don't have, we're honest with ourselves. We don't have thousands of listeners. We don't have hundreds of listeners. We have, a good handful?
I mean, we probably have a good
C and a half cup size worth of...
Maybe, yeah. I'd say at least like 50, 60 when they're all listening.
Right. Yeah, we do. But my point is, like, we don't have that very many listeners, but we do have a platform.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk, people listen.
Yes.
And which is kind of weird. It's kind of weird to think about it, but there's a reason why people listen. So that's been kind of rattling around in my head.
Well, it's funny because I get either a lot of calls or a lot of messages.
And you're the social media person right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, I get a lot of calls and messages. I'll get some DMs here and there, and I'll tell you, like, so one of them I shot it to the group, right, and it said, hey, I love Christina, you need to let me. Matter of fact, let me just read it. Let me just. I don't know if they want to remain anonymous, so we're not gonna.
Christina's got fans.
She's got fans.
Now.
Well, she's the only one. That's the only fan she has.
So
only fans.
She says, "I love Christina, and poor John."
Poor John. Yeah. Right.
She goes, but definitely bring Christina back. She goes, ooh,
how about no?
You crazy? How about no, Scott? He says, oh, she goes, have her and Sabrina on with y'all at the same time. So that was one, right? And I got a couple calls from some people that were like, hey, man, I loved her. She did great. And I again, the same response. Hey, both of them should be on at the same time.
Yep.
Right. But I'll tell you, I got a call from, and another one. So I get a call from one of my cousins, and he's like, who the fuck was that girl? And so, I tell him, and he's like, oh, from where? And I'm like, that's from my mom's side, and because he's from my dad's side. And he was like, dude, okay. He goes, yeah, man, I'm listening to it. I was like, what the heck, right? And so he's like, dude, you need to put me on because we need to talk about some things. And I said, and I wanted to get his perspective on remember we wanted to talk to John about the umping,
The umpires,
right?
yeah.
Well, I wanted to talk to him because he's a high school basketball referee.
Yes.
Is this a Vortex?
Yes, Vortex.
Vortex. Okay.
Yes. So
that was his man cave.
Yes, that was his man cave. Yeah. So he wants to. Well, that was actually his rapping name too. I think it was Vortex. So
What?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, bro. He could spit. So, but he was like, hey, when after he told me about Christina, he says, me and my wife had a conversation about the ex going to the ex's funeral.
Yeah.
He goes. So like you said, people hear these things, and you know what? It sparks conversations.
Yeah.
And not just like back to us, but they have conversations with themselves.
Right.
You know, their partners, or we pose a question, and it's like, you know what? What about you? And what do you think?
Yeah.
And for him, he was like, we both definitely said there's no reason for either of us to be at our ex's funeral, right?
Exactly.
But you know what? I'm gonna be honest. So me and Sabrina had the same conversation, like offline, and and she was like, I don't see any point for me being there at her ex's. She goes, honesty. She goes, I'll tell you like this: if you felt you needed closure, I'd be like, go, because I don't want you bringing that back home and being like, there's no closure. So by all means, if you want me there, great. If you don't, I don't care. Like, I just want that closed. She goes, but I don't feel like I'd have to be. And we had the conversation. I said, I don't feel like I have to be either. Like I said on the show, unless my kids needed me there,
right?
So
and that was the thing too. It was like a different situation. You had kids, right? And that's a big That's a big
Well, and my cousin said the same thing because they both have kids, right? From their exes, and they said the same thing. Unless they really, really needed us there, then other than that, we don't feel the need. So
there was no reason.
Yeah. So like you said, we do have a platform. People do listen. It sparks conversations. Maybe we don't always get the feedback, but we know people are listening.
That's true.
And they're we're at least hoping that, hey, they take some of this and either take some of the facts and really pay attention, or just have fun with what we're doing, and some of the conversations that we're having and some of the topics that we're talking about, and have fun with it as well, and it seems to be happening. So that's cool. We had another one today, but we'll get on that one here in a little bit with the question.
Oh, the question.
Yeah.
Are we gonna start off with that?
Oh, you want to start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's start off with. So Louis went to social. We do have social.
We
media.
do have social media. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I mean, I know we haven't kept up with it, but we do have a Facebook. We have an Instagram. We have a TikTok.
We have a TikTok too.
Yep. Now that one we do get some.
I want to show some. Yeah.
We do get a lot of likes on that one,
and that one has been getting a lot of comments.
Yeah.
Like I said last week. And the guy was like, the Gulf of America thing, and he's Obi's Gulf. It's like, yeah, but that's an engagement.
Yeah,
that he took time to write something, on to us. And the other one too. There was another one where the girl was like, she commented on somebody else's TikTok, saying that she should be on our show.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes.
And that was
she
like,
said, you need to be on Uncancelled Culture.
What?
Yeah.
We're like, whoa,
yeah,
where'd that come
people
from?
we don't know.
And then I went to her OnlyFans page. And I just, I had to do my research. Okay.
Yeah. He went, what do we call it? What is Serena? She deep dived.
Deep dive.
So he was deep diving.
That was deep. That was deep.
He was deep diving.
She really had an OnlyFans page?
No. Sorry to burst your bubble.
He was all like, I want access to that.
I
Why didn't you send it to me?
I opened up my phone for nothing. Jeez. I already had www typed in.
So, but we do have social media. So today I posted a question. It was a question that I heard this morning, and I didn't hear any responses from where I heard it from. It was just in passing that I heard it. But I thought, you know what? Maybe this is a good, and we'll do this. We're gonna keep it up, right? And if you're listening, we'd like for you to go to the social media and and put a comment. Put what answer the question.
Yeah, send
on social
something.
media, or even here on Spotify, you can answer the question, whatever. But the question was, what's the wildest thing that you've done for a friend? Okay, the wildest thing you've ever done for a friend. Now, before we answer it, I'm gonna go ahead and read. We had 4 comments. We're not gonna read one of them. All the way up from Syracuse, because that was you can go to social media and read it yourself.
Yeah.
It's still there. We're not gonna take it off, but you can read it for yourself.
And it said like the question was the wildest thing you've done, not a made up story. Dude,
It's not true. It's not
Basically,
true.
what Craigie's saying is not true.
It's not true.
Yeah.
It's not true.
Yeah.
There's no facts.
Yeah,
behind
there's no
that.
facts to that.
fact
There's no
behind
proof.
that at all.
Exactly. There's no facts. It's just somebody trying to be funny, but it's not.
Hey, is the Blackhawks playing tonight?
I don't know. We'll ask him later
We'll
on.
ask him later. Maybe we'll post that question and we'll get a response there too.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh man! But we did get a response. We got one from Michael, and he says, he goes, so the question, what is one of the wildest things you've done for a friend? He says, well, I broke into a vacant house to steal an interior door to match the one that we destroyed during a house party. So he did that for a friend. Then we had 2 more. We had one from Mike, and he said
2 different mics?
Yeah, 2 different mics.
2 different mics. Okay.
So he said, the other one was Michael, this one's Mike. So he says, as a young adolescent, I was making money doing some illegal things.
He was a
He was probably a pharmaceutical sales.
Pharmaceutical
Yeah,
sales.
maybe I don't know.
Pharmaceutical sales.
He doesn't say, but
he doesn't elaborate.
yeah.
Okay.
So we're not gonna assume.
He was just selling pharmaceuticals without his license. That's all he was doing. It's illegal. It's illegal in Texas.
So he says, well, I showed a friend of mine what I was doing, and I guess he started doing it, right? So he says he got caught while he was with me. I could have left, but I went back to get him, and I ended up getting arrested. So that was his story.
So he took the fall?
He didn't
take
I
the
guess
fall, but
well,
he
I'm
got...
thinking, I guess they both took the fall, and he didn't let his friend take the fall alone.
He wasn't...
So
fuck that guy. I don't know him.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. Take him.
I would have bailed you out. I would have helped.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna go in with you.
I'm not going in.
And I've seen the meme that, a good friend, a great friend, all this other crap. I'm sorry.
know.
If you consider me not a great friend because I didn't get arrested with you, I'm going to bail you out, though.
Am I
So,
the asshole?
Yeah. Am I
for
the
not-
asshole for not letting... Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Then we got one from Sabrina. She said-
Sabrina?
Sabrina.
Who's that?
Yeah. I don't know. She says, tried saving a friend from being abused, then got accused by said friend of being a bad friend immediately after because I recommended that they make a police report. And she basically was telling other people that she was pressured into this and so then considered her a bad friend.
Wow.
Basically. So yeah, that was pretty wild. I remember that. So yeah, those were the comments that we got in just a short span because we posted the question today and we were recording today. But like I said, we're gonna leave it up. Allow you to go to social media and answer. It's on our Uncanceled Culture page
Facebook.
on Facebook and on Instagram. So whichever you're more comfortable with.
And if you feel like, you don't want to put it out there in public, you can
DM us and
send
we'll
a
read it
message,
anonymously.
We'll read it anonymous,
We can either read it anonymously or out loud.
In our-
Unanimously or out loud.
Was that Kelly Bundy? Who was that?
in our minds, we'll read it.
Yeah.
But I can't. Things don't come to me very easily. I have to really think about it.
You try
guys
to
go-
suppress a lot of that.
You guys go first.
You try to suppress a lot of that and not.
Do I? Because I'm not I'm what they call vanilla.
Okay.
I'm vanilla, and I'm not. I wasn't never really a crazy dude or did crazy shit.
Shit for almost flipping trucks and
Just a couple times.
Yeah. Okay.
Busted
Craigie,
out.
you got anything that you The wildest thing you ever did for a friend?
Nah, man, that's top of the top of my head.
You know, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, man, I can't really remember
Like,
like
right off
something
the
that
bat.
right off the top of my head, right?
Right.
But I'll tell you this one story. So, one of my cousins, right? Because I got
He has some crazy ass cousins,
Bro,
bro. Let
I
me
got-
tell
I
you,
got-
bro. He's got
I got hundreds of cousins, so
cousins upon cousins.
yeah, I
bro.
do. So one of them, and I won't mention his name,
So he,
as it is a he. And maybe he has a heart puncher or not. I don't know. But we're gonna leave his name out of this. By the way, he did tell me. He goes, "Oh man, because I'm already caught up," and so he's telling me. And so he already heard his himself mentioned.
and he said, "Let's go,
Yeah.
let's go." You know where we're going?
So it wasn't for a friend, but it was for a cousin, right? So we end up going. We're gonna go out, and he's like, "Man, let's take this girl with us," right? So we go take this girl, and we're having some drinks, and different places, and just drinking. Next thing we know, she's like completely like out of it,
Plastered.
right? And then come to find out, I don't even think she's of age.
What?
Right? So I'm like, dude, we need to get this girl, like we need to get her home or get her, like we need to take her somewhere.
Get her
right?
off our hands.
Yeah, basically we need to wash our hands of her. So let's put her in the car. So I had the Mustang at the time. So
Greenie?
Yeah, a Greenie. So we're driving, and then all of a sudden, in the back you hear, "Ooh,"
Oh.
and he pull over. And so I pull over. He opens the door, opens the back seat, and yanks her out. Like her whole top half of her body sticking out of the car. And he's like, "Not in the Stang, not in the Stang." She does her business, puts her back, lays her down. We go. I don't even know where I'm going, so he directs me to where I'm going, right? We end up getting over there to her house, I guess, late at night. Porch lights on. We get her, we walk her to the door. I push the doorbell. He knocks on the door. We ran back to the car and bounced.
You animal housed her, huh?
Yeah.
Put her in the basket.
I don't know if she stayed standing.
Just left
I don't
her.
know if she fell. I don't know if she made it inside. All I know is that
She
I
made it home.
never wanted to hear about her or any situation again. So basically, took her home for him. Probably not the best way, but we were young, so who knows?
I don't. There's one thing that comes to mind, and it was at the Bonham, and we were with some friends of ours, and they're like, funny. I guess it has to do with there's a theme going with the cousins, right? So this guy and his cousin was there, right? And he's like, his girlfriend, he's like, I gotta make my cousin jealous or whatever, like what? Like why? Why would you do that? And he's all like, no. He goes, I want you to do it. I'm like, do what? So the girl that he's interested in is standing like on the second floor, and she's talking to another girl, whatever. And he's trying to like throw the Mac, but she's paying more attention to the girl, like her friend, So he's just kind of standing there.
He needs you to take one for the team.
Yeah. So he goes, hey, no.
Oh,
He goes, I dare you. He goes, go over there and kiss her. And I'm
the
like,
one he wanted to talk to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He goes, go there and kiss her and freak him out. And like why, dude? He's like, what? It's your cousin. He's like, I know, but just do it. And I was like, well, I was drinking.
He had that liquid courage.
I was already liquid. And so I go over there and I pull her, I move her a little bit and bam, plant one on her, good 2-3 seconds. And she freaks out, whatever. And then
Did
the
she
guy-
know who you were?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, she
okay.
had no idea.
Okay.
So I do it, and then so I got the stink eye from the dude like the rest of the night,
Got it.
But that's just how because
So the guy didn't want the other guy to have any action.
No, he was fucking. He was cock blocking his cousin. Basically, is what happened.
Got
But he made me do it. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about as crazy as like, man. I'm not. I'm not a crazy person.
Cranky's like, I don't know.
He's like, you fuckers are crazy, man. Shit.
He's like, I try to forget all that.
I want to. But remember the Bonham days? Talking about the Bonham.
I hated that place,
Did
bro.
we ever go? We went. No, you never went.
I mean, I went, but
went.
we never went.
I hated that place so much.
What?
So, I guess I just felt uncomfortable
Why?
because the only time that I went, I went. Okay, I've been a few times now, but
You didn't go. You didn't go on the right day.
No, I did go on the right
That's
day.
why you feel uncomfortable.
No,
I mean,
I did go on the right
Of course,
day.
you're gonna feel uncomfortable if you don't go on a Wednesday.
No, I did go on the right day, and so me thinking I'm there on the right day, I'm safe.
Yeah.
So the two times that I go on that day,
They infiltrated.
yeah, I'm there and walking around, and a buddy of mine is going, doing. He thinks he's the max. He's running around. Who might be the next president of South San, but he so running around and freaking going and trying to talk to all these girls, whatever. So at one point I was like, I just need a drink, man. So I think we're upstairs, and I grab a drink, and I'm leaning over the balcony, so I'm looking at the dance floor and stuff. And as I'm looking over, I was like, hey man, what's up, man? I was like, hey, what's up, bro? And he's like, hey man, you come here all the time? I was like, nah, man. Like, only come here a couple times with my buddy. Oh,
Never
okay.
on Wednesday.
Yeah. He's like, man, hey, you need a drink? And right at that point, I looked over and he's just giving me this look. I'm like, damn it! And I turned around, man, and walked away. And I was like, no, we gotta go, bro. We gotta go. I'm not.
Come on.
Yeah, I was not.
I want to tear you apart.
And your friend too. Yeah. Coming to America. So yeah, I didn't have. Let's just say I didn't have the greatest experiences over there. So
I always went on Wednesdays. Let's put that out there. Always went on Wednesdays. But no, there was one night where I got completely too far, and luckily the people I was with took care of me. But yeah, it was crazy, man. What do you call it? The Bonham Exchange.
It's still there.
it's still
It's
there.
still open?
It's still there.
Damn,
Yep.
man, that's got to be one of the longest running clubs in San Antonio.
Yeah, I still get people, clients, and coworkers. Hey, let's go to. Whenever I have an event downtown, let's go to the. Nope. Nope.
But today's Thursday, Louis. Come on.
Yeah, no, sir. I'm good. Sticking to my little spots.
They used to call it college night, right? On Wednesday?
The Thursday was always
Thursday?
college night.
College
Well, no,
night.
but
Was
I
it
mean,
Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday was college night in general, like not just.
Okay, I'm thinking the wrong day then.
Thursday was college night, like everywhere.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But the days that we would go was because they had the strippers, remember?
Well, they had the best chess night.
Yeah, and then of course
Basically the same thing.
Yes.
Cherokee.
Yeah.
Any woman that's probably our age probably remembers Cherokee. You remember Cherokee? You remember when Kiss used to talk about Cherokee?
Yes.
He was a male dancer. No, I didn't see who he was.
You didn't check for yourself?
No,
Oh.
I didn't pull a Roger. I didn't.
There was a lot of places that had not so much best chest, but they did have best. It was either best chest or like a wet t-shirt.
Wet t-shirt. Joe's had wet t-shirt.
Yeah, Joe's had the wet t-shirt.
Hollywood had wet t-shirt.
Yep. Didn't the Atrium have it?
I went to the atrium once.
Only one time.
Only one time.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I went a couple times and I ran into somebody's son's mom.
Did she have a podcast?
I wonder who.
Did she have a
No.
podcast?
No,
Somebody
not
else?
that,
Oh,
no.
okay.
No, so yeah, and then no, Park Place never had one. I don't remember them having one.
No.
No, Park Place didn't have one.
No, but they did have the barber chair.
I think we're aging ourselves.
They did have the barber chair, and
What happened
Cracky
at
had
the
to
barber
save-
chair?
He had to save me on that one.
Jeez.
What happened in the barber chair?
So we
The
walk
barber chair. You
in.
remember the barber chair?
Okay, so the barber chair, they would put you in a barber chair and they'd pour a shot in your mouth.
Okay.
So you pay $20, whatever it is, right?
Right,
I think it was 10 at the time. But
Inflation.
yeah, so we walk in.
I don't even know if it was. Probably, I don't even think it was $10, man.
I don't even remember, dude.
Less than that?
So-
I think it was
No
less.
shit.
Yes.
So I remember we walk in and we have a buddy of mine from North Carolina. Well, from Clovis at the time, but he was from North Carolina, right? So he shows up and so we take him out. So we go out.
Yeah.
We didn't start at Hollywood? Because I know we used to take him there all the time.
I don't think we ever took him to Park Place.
No, we did. Because, and I will tell you how I remember. So we walk in, and as soon as we walk in, I see the barber chair, and I'm like, dude, I want to do that. So I pay, get in the chair. The girl, so she's at the time, she's like, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "I want Ghost Dogger." So that was my one at the time, right?
Fucking love.
I'm like, let's do it.
Dude.
So she leads me back on the barber chair, starts pouring the shot, and I thought I was slick because I'm drinking it.
Yeah.
And she's pouring it because she was she was pouring it until it got to the top of your mouth, and then she stopped.
Yeah.
Well, I kept drinking it, and she's there, and then she kind of looks over and she says, "You're drinking it," and stops right, laughing, right? Ha 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 ha. So all right, so we're there. Then we start grabbing a couple drinks.
But they don't tell you like.
Nah, it doesn't tell you like how much or anything.
Yeah, they don't tell you don't drink it.
Yeah,
Right.
They just pour it in
They
your
just
mouth.
pour
They
it.
assume that you're not gonna
So
drink
they're,
it.
they're assuming that you're holding it.
Yeah,
And then
you're
And
gonna
then you
take
drink
the
it
shot.
just
shot.
like a
Yeah.
shot.
So then we start having a few drinks, and then I was like, I want to do it again, man. So I jump on it again, and so again doing the same thing, and she knows it's time, but she's kind of laughing. Oh, you're drinking it again, right? So then we have a couple more drinks, and then I was like, ah, man. I'm looking around. Well, then this dude pays to get on the barber chair, and as he's getting up, because there was a step up, as he's getting up, he gets bumped. Well, him and this dude start going at it, and they start fighting to the point where they're throwing them out.
Oh yeah.
And the girl's like, well, he already paid. I was like, I'll take it. So I jumped up and I finished the bottle.
Charm. No shit.
I finished the bottle, bro. And I was all like, yeah. So then they're like, hey, man, let's go somewhere else. All right. As soon as we walked out, wind hit me. I was done, bro. Literally, we were in my car.
The goddamn
And
wind.
so he had to drive. And the same thing, I think it was the same thing. They're like, oh, let's pull over. I remember when we got back to his house, they planted me against, remember the tree that was in the front yard? And they sat me up against the tree. And they stayed drinking. I was out there throwing up, and I was
You didn't
laid
pull
up against a tree.
The weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah,
pick
bro.
him up and try and walk him around.
It was a pretty crazy night.
Oh my god. Speaking of drunk and crazy, these women drivers in San Antonio.
I'm already
dude.
pouring it, Porky.
These
I'm already
fucking
pouring
women
it.
drivers in San Antonio. Let
I'm
me tell
already
you.
pouring it.
And they're not even drunk.
Well, fuck. Who knows?
Well,
They
you
might
know
have been.
what? San Antonio, you don't know anymore, man.
So I messaged these guys.
This is for
right?
you, sir, because I already know you're getting into it.
Wait. I'll
You wanna
tell you
wait?
when. I'll tell you when.
He's like, we'll
So-
take it after.
So I was so pissed off. I sent a message to because we got a group, for the show. We have a group one, and I text them and I'm like, "Fucking women drivers!" like in all caps, And I didn't tell them why because I saved it for the show. So,
Yeah.
so I'm dropping
Sabrina's
off-
response.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, she's like,
hey.
hey. And I'm like, no, these goddamn fucking drivers. So I'm dropping off the kid at school. And I wouldn't even say it was my fault. I just thought that I would go a different route to drop him off into the school, right? No big deal. So I see the line is like, it's all the way down the street. And I'm like, I'm not going to get in that line. I'll just come back around, go another way, right? So I keep going, and I'm getting up to the entrance exit, where people going in, people coming out.
The south to drop off or the north to
Yeah,
pick up?
exactly. It's like, asshole. But, and as I'm passing that, I glance over to the side, and fucking cars coming right at me. And I'm like, I didn't put my brakes on. I didn't honk. I didn't do anything. I was bracing for impact.
You froze, basically,
I was bracing for the impact. And she fucking slammed on the brakes. And I said she, because it was a fucking woman driver. She slams on the brakes, right? And in doing so, she didn't know what to do. Like, she backed up. She moved forward. She didn't know what to do. And then she blocks the traffic that's still coming this way, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's just a barrage of honks. And I'm like, you fucking. And as I'm driving by, I'm like, you fucking stupid ass, you. Okay, so that was the first time. That was the first
one.
thing. That was in the morning. That was before 8 o'clock. And then later in the day, I had to go back to the school because I had to make a payment. I had to drop some stuff off, for the older kid, right? And I'm going back to work, and I'm going down Flores. Now, Flores now is a 2-lane street, right? There's no turning lane in the middle anymore. They used to have a turning lane in the middle, which would have helped in this situation.
On Flores?
Yeah. Yeah, it was, okay, so it was always a 2-lane, right? 2 ways, north-south. And then what they did is they changed it, and they got rid of the middle 2 lanes and made it a turning lane.
Oh.
And there was only and then it was only one south, one north.
Yeah.
Well, they changed it back
To a 2-lane.
to a 2-lane. So there's 2 lanes, right? So I'm driving on the left side on the inside lane, and I see there's traffic, right?
Which should be the fast lane.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Basically,
technically, yeah.
well, yeah, okay.
So I see the traffic, and there's about 2 or 3 cars, right? And they're backed up. And I was like, okay, well, somebody's going to turn, right? So I check my mirrors like a good driver. I check my side view mirror. Nobody's
His
coming.
blind spot.
I move over to the other lane, and as I'm coming up upon this traffic, the fucking car that's in between, because there's 3 cars, so the middle car decides to jet out the last fucking moment, right when I'm passing. And I look again, I'm like, ah! And she stops. She hits her fucking brakes, right? And I'm going by, you fucking shit, it's something fucking. And of course I waited. Now I said she, but I didn't know it was a she until I waited for her to pass me up so I could fucking stare her down as I'm going down. There's another woman. Another woman fucking driver. I'm like, what the fuck? It's Friday. Just let me make it to Saturday, please.
Damn.
So I'm like, and here's the other part, right? I was mad all day. I was fucking pissed off. It was like, I don't need this shit, man. I don't need a fucking wreck right now. I don't. I said, if I've learned anything as I've gotten older, is to be like angry for a second and then let it drop, right? Which is what I did. I was mad for about 5 minutes, and then after that, I had forgot about it, and then right when I got back in the car, it all came back. I'm like, fuck, So I'm being defensive everywhere I'm going because I don't trust these I don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
Let alone women. Yes, I'm on one. I'm on one right now because I mean, it's. How many times have we said it though? Anytime something happens, what? It's always a fucking woman. The woman driver. I think Cranky said it too. He just send a text message that said women drivers. Like, see?
But you said, I want to bring this up because we're not gonna do it because you said like you had sent us something about Battle of the Sexes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and one of the things on there was like who's better at doing this and that. And this and that.
Right.
And one of them was multitasking, and I think the driving has a lot to do with multitasking because for women a lot of them are either on their phone, they're doing their makeup,
Or
Rolling weed.
eating.
they're rolling weed and eating, and taking selfies at the same time. I mean, right? So there's obviously they can't multitask,
Right. Yeah.
and I guarantee that a lot of. I mean, I don't guarantee, but I can't guarantee because I don't have facts.
He ain't got facts, ladies.
Hey, got facts, ladies and gentlemen.
But I'm allegedly.
There's that word again.
A lot of their driving has to do with multitasking.
Yeah.
I wasn't driving.
I think my driving was.
I think driving was one of
the things on there.
Yeah, that
So-
we want to do. Yeah.
So a little backdrop on that.
Yeah, driving was
because Cranky brought it up, but after we had the Christina show, and then we had another show, last week's show, and then we had people coming and saying, "Oh yeah, you should get Sabrina and
Christina
on together." Blah blah blah. And I said, you know what? I'll back out. Right. I'll give the microphone to you guys. So it'll be Cranky and Louie against Christina and Sabrina, and do a battle of the sexes thing, right? That'll be great. It'll be fun. And that's how that came up because I was looking at different things. What do women do better? What do men do better? Whatever. And I think it was driving, and like Cranky said, multitasking. So I was like, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna back out. I'm gonna be the producer for that show, and you guys are gonna go after it.
When you talk about that, I have to, I think about it. I'm like, I gotta agree with that because it's true, the multitasking. However, the middle son, right? He's about to get his license, and so I'm driving into the neighborhood the other day, and I'm driving and I have my phone because I'm working, and and then there is a spot where there's a stop sign, but nobody stops because it's like you can only go one way. So it's basically just a turn.
Right.
Right. but I kind of just took it like I slow rode through it.
California road.
Yeah,
Is that what they
slow
call
rode through it.
California
and
road.
California road.
California stop.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. And so I kind of slow rode through it, and I'm on my phone. And he goes, I'm about to be getting my license, and you're not setting a good example for me.
Oh.
And I said, you know what? You're right. You're right. I gotta be more, intentional and more conscious of that. He's about to be a driver,
Yeah.
and he's seeing what we do.
Sponges, remember? Sponges.
However, I can multitask. So, but you know what? When you were talking about that, and you were like, man, it freaked me out, and had you fuming all day.
Yeah.
So I've had some close encounters here recently, and
Well, you had more than an encounter.
Well,
sorry.
so-
The first kind?
what? The first guy. So ever since the accident, I'm literally like on edge. I'm still on edge. So I'm driving and I see something and I'm like, it gets me really
Yeah,
fast.
yeah.
And I'm shaking up for a little bit.
I think that's a natural.
No,
a
yeah.
well,
but-
when you go through what he went
Well, yeah,
through,
that's what I'm saying. Like
yeah.
after you go through it, I think your natural
yeah,
instinct is to tense up.
And I'm driving and I was telling you I had this guy that was honking and pissed off because I wasn't going fast enough.
Yeah.
But there was somebody in front of me. Well, the person in front of me goes to the left lane, and this guy takes the opportunity to go to the left lane and then cuts me off, but basically like tries to run me off the road and freak me out and then piss me off.
Yeah.
And then, like Porky said, was like, you know what? I need to let it go because my first instinct was I'm gonna roll up next to him. We're both exiting the same freaking exit. I'm gonna roll up next to him, and I was like, you know what, man, just let it go, bro. Just let it go. Like it's not worth it. But yeah, man, like I've literally had some close calls, or maybe not even a close call. Maybe I'm just driving. I see something, I'm like, man, it just like I'm real hesitant right now, right? Dude, we had to drive to Dripping Springs for a cheerleading or a dance competition, and on the way back, it's raining, it's foggy, it's 1 a.m, and people are driving stupid, and I'm like, oh man, and literally I can feel my neck and my back tensing up because I'm like gripping the steering wheel, and I was telling Sabrina, I was like, man, I'm on edge, and we're supposed to take some trips. We're leaving tomorrow to Corpus because we have another dance competition we got to go to, and then the following week we're driving to Florida. So I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
That dance competition thing? Too?
No, Florida is we're gonna take the kids for spring break. So
Wow, it's spring break already?
yeah, bro,
Holy
2
shit
weeks.
balls, dude.
Well, a week, yeah.
Wow.
Next week. Not
Next-
this week that's coming, but the following.
Yeah, so next Friday is the last day of school, and then they have spring break.
And that's when we lose an hour.
Yeah, yeah.
But not like that Fat Tuesday night, huh? That's another night we fucking talk about. But yeah, I've learned, especially going through what I did, 2 years ago, right? And it's gotten to end, and like Cranky and y'all said too, everybody's fucking carrying.
Yeah.
You don't know. It doesn't matter
yeah.
if it's legally or illegally. They're
Yeah.
still fucking carrying a gun.
Yep.
So you
And not only guys.
everybody everybody has a fucking gun. They shouldn't have one. People that shouldn't have one have them.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean that kind of goes through my mind as well. But then I really start feeling, I'm like, it's not fucking worth it, dude. I'm pissed, right? I got pissed. But by the time I got back to work, it was like, man, these fucking people, man,
Yeah.
fucking drivers.
Yep.
Great drivers.
I think that's a
Sunday driver. Yeah, I'll take that shot. Salud.
salute.
Coffee.
Oh yeah. Whatever.
Smooth.
Grandpa's own cough medicine.
And so, quick shots. Hot shots. Who's got hot shots? No? Did you do yours? Did you do one?
I didn't. No,
You didn't? Okay.
no. Just pose the question.
Cranky?
My life is pretty boring right now, dude. It's really boring.
You know what I was thinking? So, so I'll pose this question to you guys because I was actually thinking about it on the way over here. When we were young, right? And we didn't all hang out together all the time.
yeah.
But I mean that doesn't matter. That's not what I'm trying to say. But my point is, we all were doing something.
Yeah.
Cranky was going out, you were going out, you guys were going out together, we were going out, and me and Cranky would go out every so often. But it doesn't matter. The whole thing about it is that we were going out, right? 21, 22, 23.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, exactly. And some nights it was, whew. But did you, or can you remember back to those times? Like, what were we thinking?
Oh yeah.
What was going through our minds? Like, I don't think at any point did we say, well, fuck, I want to live till 60. We were just doing shit out of our ass. You know? And we weren't, which probably a lot of the nights we weren't thinking with the right head. You know,
That
obviously.
too.
But I started thinking about it on the way over here. I was like, man, we didn't think about tomorrow. We didn't think about 5 years from then. We didn't think about any of that shit. We were just fucking, dude. There was times where I was going out 6 days a week.
We were living in the moment, I guess.
Is that what it is? Because you're young, we're dumb, full of cum.
You know, there's times that I feel when I think back about some of those times, right? I think, how do we make it out of that?
Shit.
Like, how did we get out of that situation?
Yeah.
How did I live through that? Like, what the heck?
Well,
Like,
that was the Fat Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Is what
That was the one
that
that-
night when we got pulled over, and it's you're lucky it's too busy, and then they just let us go. We're like, holy shit, dude! If I would have gone to jail, at least I don't know what Cranky would have.
I probably would have just been on the side of the road. With,
they're like, can you call somebody to pick you up?
Call him Louis. Go get me.
and then you would have been telling your wildest story you did for your friend.
But
yeah, there's an incident where I crossed the railroad tracks while the arms were down,
really,
and as soon as I passed it, the train crossed. And
After you went
it,
through.
I mean, that was like 240 ounces deep already. You know,
King
and that's
Cobras.
when Gandhi. I was with Gandhi and Saren and Mark.
Yeah.
And and I think about a lot of stuff, man. I think a lot of, now I live in the past a lot, but I live in the past too in a way like to where I start thinking, what if this situation went this way instead of this way?
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of my freaking like anxiety comes from, And I mean, there's one me and Louis got stopped for running a yield sign.
Running a yield sign.
We ran a yield sign.
Yeah. The guy, the
pulled
cop
over.
argued that it was a stop sign, and we were like, "No, it's a yield sign." He's like, "Dude, I lived here all my life," and I'm like, "I've lived in this area all my life. Like, there's no way it's a stop sign." I was like, "Bro, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what you.
I need y'all out of the vehicle."
Yeah, and
dude,
they searched the vehicle for without probable cause.
Oh,
Yep.
shit.
Yep.
But we were young. We didn't know.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
weren't looking at Rogers videos of the time. The audits and stuff like that. And I need your name and badge
To know your
number
rights
stuff.
and all that. Yeah.
We didn't know that back then.
We didn't know that back in the day. We were just young and like, search.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the next week it was a stop sign there all of a sudden.
Yeah. All of a sudden, there's a stop sign there now. Yeah. Yep.
I don't remember that stop sign.
If there wasn't, it was always a yield. It was
Yeah.
it was coming out of Fair Meadows, right there where the corner stores at.
Without.
Well,
Well, I was gonna say the hot, but yeah.
Oh yeah,
you can say that too.
The hot meat store.
and it was
Sunshine.
and it was always a yield.
Or Sunrise.
Always, yeah.
Sunrise.
It was Sunrise. It was
Sunrise,
still a
yeah.
Sunrise.
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
And it was always a yield sign.
Right.
Imagine that, always a yield sign, because we were already 21, 22. We were
Yeah.
already, and that, like they say, like maybe like a week later, they put a stop sign.
Yeah. And imagine if it would have been. If we would have been pre-gaming to go somewhere,
Yeah.
like it would have changed dramatically the path of our life,
Right.
basically, man.
Yeah.
I mean, there were times I'm leaving his house, not even on Fair Meadows yet. I'm barely turning from his street, and freaking getting pulled over because I don't have my seatbelt on. I'm like, bro, I just literally pulled out. It doesn't
Sir,
matter.
the car's not even on.
Yeah.
We all got a ticket now. I remember that one. We were together in that one too.
Yeah.
We got a ticket for that one. No seatbelt. We're just going to the corner store. No seatbelt on.
Literally, we're just going to the corner
Sir,
store, bro.
we're only 20 feet from our house.
We're 20 miles an hour.
And he goes,
I guess I'm gonna fly out the windshield.
Yeah,
Going
he's
20
like,
miles
doesn't
an hour,
matter. You're
dude.
gonna have it once you turn on the car. And I'm
Don't you
like,
know that blood flows red on the highway?
And then, you know, Mardi Gras night wasn't even the only time that we got pulled over. We got pulled over again in front of my house.
In front of your house.
In front of my house. And we were like, no, well, I just live right here. Okay, well, you better not go anywhere after this. So Porky went inside for about 10 minutes and then he goes, all right, I'm going to leave. I got to go home.
Oh man,
Oh my god.
those were the times, man.
And those pre-gaming nights where, you know, the King Cobra.
The Chachos margaritas.
Oh my god.
You know.
Oh, dude. Yep. The Chachos margaritas were.
Yeah.
Those were some days.
And I saw a video of some girl was doing a food review at Chachos. I'm like,
A
you don't,
food
yeah,
review?
you don't go to Chachos to eat. You
Who goes to Chachos to eat?
No, you go
That's
to
why people get shot in that fucking place.
You go afterwards when you can't taste the food no more. You know.
You can have a King Kong nachos. Like 3 fucking people, 4 people eating that
Shit, and
shit.
then
We didn't
you're-
care about, you know, there was fuck COVID at that time. 'Cause everybody
for
was
real.
reaching their hands in the fucking
You're
nachos. Man.
constipated for a week with all that cheese, man.
Oh, reminiscing, man, reminiscing. Yeah. But I mean, that's what I'm saying, man. I mean, I don't, you know, and it's hard to like. Now that like you say, so you got your tribe, right, and then I got, you know, mine, you know, 17, gonna graduate, and it's like, how do you have to relay that stuff to them, knowing that you used to do some stupid shit when you were that age, you know?
Well, so we have. So of course I have older ones too, right? I got my 25-year-old.
yeah.
I got my 21-year-old. And they've tried to pull some stuff, right? But now I'm back into now we got one that's about to be 18, another one that's 16, another one's about to be 15. And the one that's about to be 18 has tried to pull some things. And I'm like, look, I don't know about your mom. Your mom probably has stories, all right? But I have stories. And I'm not even going to use the I wasn't born last night thing. I've done what you want to do. So I know. So you can't play it.
Yeah.
So I know the game.
You can't. Yeah.
I know the game. I know what you're already thinking. I know what you're wanting. I know what you're planning. I mean, dude, honestly, I think about it.
I already know what window's unlocked.
Yeah. Bro, for real. You know, I think about it like now, like we have, you know, everybody has either the
Ring cameras and
the Ring cameras.
Yeah.
They have the Light 360 or whatever.
Yeah.
I have we have the find your phone on Apple and stuff.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, bro, if they had that back then, oh my goodness, bro! Like we wouldn't have gotten into half the stuff that we got into.
My mom would have been able to find me.
Yeah,
and,
easy.
And you know,
I'm 48 right now. And
damn, you're old.
And I still get a text. Hey, so you're over there in that area? My mom. Right? So we share locations, like me and Sabrina, we share locations, of course, with the kids. But then we share locations like with my mom and my sister and
Yeah.
stuff, right? So my mom all of a sudden will be like, hey, since you're in that area, I'm like, what the heck? So I know that back in the day,
Oh,
there
there
would have
would've
been
been-
no way that I would have gotten away with not even half the things.
She would have known when I was on the way home.
Yep.
She would have known that I was like, oh yeah, I'll be there in 30 minutes. Yeah, you're like 40 minutes away. Like,
Yeah.
I you know,
Yeah.
shit like that. Like, I know, oh, you're not coming home. I see where you're going.
Yeah.
You're there anyway. You might as well get, you know,
You chewing? Oh, I mean,
chewing.
I'm gonna get grounded. You'll be grounded anyways. Go ahead.
I mean, dude, I even, you know, and it's crazy that the show's taking this turn, but I remember, I mean, there were times, bro, that I did stupid crap, right? And
We all did something
and
stupid.
but my mom always wanted to believe that I was this angel, right? The halo over my
I mean,
head.
yeah, we all know who the bad influence to Porky was.
No, but so
Rest in peace.
So,
Mom. Rest in
so
peace.
I remember one time. I remember I had started selling, pharmaceutical sales without my license, right? And so I had already gotten rid of everything except for one, and I remember finding it in my pocket, right? Yeah. And I'm like, oh shoot! So I put it in a CD. In one of my either rap or rock CDs, I don't even know which CD it was. I just remember putting it in the CD.
One of the mixed ones.
I get to my mom's and I put it in, put it where all the CDs and stuff is at.
Oh, no.
And then I remember getting home like another day because I completely forgot about it. And I just remember hearing, I remember seeing the CD open. Why are you listening to my music? But it's right there and I'm thinking, damn, like, and I'm like, look, man, I'm not doing it. We quote unquote, air quotes, but I was like, I was trying to sell it, trying to make some money. And the disappointment, and the face, and I'm like, golly.
I got it by watching you.
You, all right?
Nobody remembers that commercial.
You need to find it and post it to the page.
Yes.
Where did you get this? Who told you to do this? I learned it from watching you, all right?
Parents who use drugs have children who use drugs.
That was a crazy. Dude, those commercials would not fly today, bro. Who was it that posted the one just recently? The one about the
Andrew Dice Clay?
But it was a commercial one.
I sent you that.
He sent that one, but it was a commercial one. I think it might have been Rod that sent it. And I'm like, yeah, dude. Like he was like, oh, the commercials in the '80s were crazy.
Yeah.
And I think he sent one, and I'm like, bro, a lot of the stuff I'm thinking none of that would fly today, man. None of that would fly today. I mean, it should because you see it.
So what? They would have to change it up because back then it was like, this is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. And like now it's like, this is fentanyl. This is your brain on fentanyl.
It wouldn't even be an egg, right? It'd be like a freaking
some dude like
They would be
bending over. Jeez. Oh man.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, and I get to that point too. Like it's you get maybe the certain time of the day, or maybe when you're just like really deep in thought, thinking about different stuff.
Deep thoughts.
Deep by Jack Handy. Mine is usually when I'm driving. And no, it's not to say I'm not fucking paying attention. It's these fucking women drivers that don't know how to
He's
drive.
multitasking.
Yes, I got everything going on. It's like, remember, I know Sabrina said that one time. Like she has all these files open. Like,
Yeah.
bam, 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 bam. So we can do it too. But that's when I do most of my like real deep thinking, And I start thinking, I'm like, man, and that's why I was thinking because I had thought about. I was like, well, maybe I'll have a beer, right? Well, maybe I'll have a beer during the show. Just one beer. Let's see what happens. But then I started thinking about all that other shit. And I'm like, well, what happened those nights when we had 5, 6, 10, 12 beers and a couple of shots and Goldschlager and it's like, how did we survive?
That was my Friday night recently.
It was like, how did we survive that shit?
Yeah.
It's like we didn't think about it, and it's not a green light for kids to go and do it. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
we went through some crazy shit, man.
Well, and you think about it now it's just harder. And we've talked about it a lot of times on the show. Everybody has a camera.
Oh yeah,
Nobody had them back then. Everybody has a camera. And if they had a camera back then, it wasn't like somebody recording with a phone hiding. They had a big ass camera that put it in your face. You thought you were on the freaking news or recording a commercial. Like, you know what I mean? So it was noticeable.
The Clark,
they had the
Clark Griswold camera,
the one with the cassette in there. Yes, you know what I mean. So I'll disagree with you, and not so much disagreeing, but I don't go into deep thoughts when I'm by myself.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, like we were driving the other day, me and Sabrina. It was yesterday, I think. or this morning, I don't know, but we're driving.
I
And she's
remember
like,
I'm old.
Yeah. I don't even know what happened yesterday, but so we're driving and we were having a conversation, and then all of a sudden the conversation stopped. So I'm like, what's too quiet? So turn on the radio. And she's like, you don't just like, she says, you don't like just driving in silence? And I'm like, no.
No.
But she raises the volume because she likes her song, right? So I'm like, okay. But I don't.
The
Like,
double standard.
but I don't find myself like being in silence. When I'm in the car, that's my opportunity. I'm not on my phone. I'm not doing stuff. That's my opportunity. If I'm not on a work call or handling something for the kids, I'm driving. That's my opportunity to listen to either our podcast or my true crime podcast, whatever. Like, I always have something on and I'm listening and just kind of, going. The only time that I actually reminisce and I think back, one is when I'm having conversations like this, with friends or family, or two, when I actually pass a location where I'm like, and I find myself sometimes telling the kids, man, one time right here, right? And maybe there's some stories I shouldn't have shared, but they're, I try to leave out some of the details that aren't so great. But even with me and Sabrina, like, we'll be driving, and I'll be like, oh, right here, and I'll tell her this happened one time. What? And, and then that's when I reminisce and we kind of have that conversation. But when I'm by myself, dude, Sabrina can sit in silence.
I can't.
Sometimes she'll be on her phone, but sometimes she'll just sit there and it's her time just to unwind, relax, right? I can't do that. If I'm sitting here by myself, I have the TV on.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm watching a true crime documentary or I'm watching a show, whatever.
Or porn.
I'm in the car, I'm listening to a podcast. Like, to me, silence isn't something that I need. I don't. Some people do, but I don't.
Yeah.
Right? But so I guess that's why I don't get a lot of time to sit down and reminisce, because honestly, I agree with Sabrina, but I think women have so many files open. I don't. I might have one and I close it. And honestly, at that point, there's no thoughts. She's asked me a couple times, what are you thinking? I'm like, nothing. And she's looking at me, and I see her looking at me, and she's like, no,
I get that
there's
too.
something. Like, you're thinking about something because I see you, and I'm like, honestly, no. I'm like, what was I thinking? No, I wasn't thinking anything. I'm like,
You're like Homer Simpson with
Yeah.
the monkey.
I'm like, no, like, I'm really not thinking anything. And I'll be like, was I thinking?
thinking.
And I'll try to think of something like, I was thinking of this before. It wasn't right now. I don't know. You put me on the spot, and I'm like, I'm not thinking anything. I don't, like, honestly, I'm just there. I could be zoned out, not thinking about anything. I'm just there. She's like, you okay? What are you thinking about? Nothing.
I bet he's thinking about that bitch. From last
God damn. He was
Hey,
thinking about
and then what in my head is one of the videos that Pedro sends us.
Yes, I know. God.
I was sitting there like, oh my goodness.
I bet he's thinking about that bitch from Banging Beans.
Yes. 2 scoops, huh? Or 2 sugars, huh? Yeah, I got your 2 sugars.
One number 2.
So I'll tell you one of the stories. I take the kids to school every day, right? And they go to Legacy.
Yeah.
And Legacy is, I have to pass Castillos.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm passing Castillos, bro. And
Rural
I said,
area.
let me tell you a story. So I would tell
Want to
them,
hear it? Here goes.
Yeah. So I told him, I said, hey, check this out. I said, so we used to play softball here on Sundays, and we'd have tournaments. And so the tournaments, we would all pitch in for the entry fee. Right?
No, not all of us.
Somebody always had to pay extra.
So I told her, I said, so I'm telling them, I'm like, yeah, man. So, we'd play the games or whatever. And then everybody's like, hey, man, so don't forget, like, $5, $10, whatever it was at the time. And I'm like, I would tell them, oh, yeah, man, let me go to my car real quick. Like that way used to say, you'd hear the car taking off. And I was like, man, I used to bail on the guys and not pay.
Oh, God.
And they're like, what? I said, yeah, man. I said, we used to start drinking at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Some of us.
Well, I know we did.
You know who would tell this story? Great John.
John!
He had a good view.
Yes.
John, I didn't always dip out on the paying.
Fellas,
when I had money, I
fellas.
paid.
I need $5, fellas. I need $5.
I remember when Uncle Hooch.
Uncle Hooch.
Well, I called him Uncle Hooch because
Yeah.
he saved me. He saved me one day. I got pulled over by DPS after a tournament, and I had a warrant that I didn't know about. Well, I probably knew about it, but I've had a lot of warrants, right? But I had a warrant, and the guy's like, "Hey, you got to pay. Like, I got to take you in, or unless you can make this payment."
Right now?
Yeah. And,
What?
And that's what threw me off because I was like, "Bro, is this dude just scamming me? Like, what is he doing?"
What is this, Mexico?
And he goes, "I can take the check or a money order." And I was like, "Okay."
What?
And I'm like, "Dude, I don't have the money."
Make it out to officers instead of the city of San Antonio officer. Yeah, just make it out to officer.
Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Gonzalez. So he pulls me out, and I'm like, "Bro, like the bank's closed. Like, where am I gonna get money from? I don't have an ATM card right now. Like, where am I gonna get money from?" I don't know. He goes, "I can take you in," and I'm like, "Hold on." Call Hooch. I said, "Man, I need a favor. I need this amount of money. I got to make this payment. If not, they're going to arrest me." And I think they were watching a WrestleMania or something one time at his house. And my plan wasn't to go over there. But I was like, "Can you help me out?" He's like, "Yeah, come by." So I went over there, loaned me the money. I went to the Valero or whatever it was at the time.
Yeah.
Valero, Diamond Shamrock. I don't know what it was at the time.
Damn it, Shamrock.
Right.
That's how old we are.
But I went and made a money order and gave it to the officer, and it cleared my warrant.
He followed you?
And the officer followed me to Hooch's house.
What?
Followed me to Valero to make the money order, and I gave it to him.
Yeah.
And he took the payment.
What?
And then so I kind of felt bad because I wasn't gonna go to Hooch's. I was like, "Well, I'm gonna go back now." So I went over there and I was like, "Uncle Hooch," and I told him when I told the officer, I said, "Let me call my uncle." And it was Uncle Hooch, man. And so I went over there, right? So it's just funny because I always tell all these stories and John knows, dude. Like it's just every time we talk about these stories, like we talk about all the people, Hooch and Andy and John and you name it, bro. It's just
You know what, dude? You know what? That would be a fucking awesome show.
Yeah.
To get all those dudes together.
Yeah.
All of us together, back together.
Dude, we can't even get John on the show here. Come on.
We're trying!
Hey,
We're trying!
So let me tell you. So,
I mean, it's not that we can't get him on the show. It's that we don't get him on.
We'll get Andy on before him.
Porky's already laughing because he already knows where I'm going with this. So John messages, right? He messages us, and he was like, "Hey," he goes, "Thanks for the shout out," right? Let me read you the text. He goes, "Hell yeah, I still got my mention. Like I told Louis, I'm coming with an entourage. Pup, Andy, maybe even Hooch." He goes, "And he goes, I love y'all's intro and exit music, but I want my own music." And I said, kind of like a walk-up song? I said, "Wait." And I put ... right? And then he says, "And now to the Uncanceled Culture Studios proudly presents..." And Porky's like, one day. He goes, "And I want it in The Rock's voice." And I said, "Wait a minute." I said, "I already know the song. We can put Rollin' by Limp Bizkit." And Porky just puts the the face with the wow. I was sharing this with Sabrina. Sabrina wasn't happy with me, but still,
Hey,
I was like,
man.
"John's a sport, man. He's a good sport, bro."
You see, and that goes back to how we grew up.
Yes,
We could talk about, they know how we are.
we can lift you up and cut the legs right up under you.
Oh man, that's why we're the greatest generation.
Yes,
You got new legs.
Lieutenant Dan.
you ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan got new legs.
Oh my goodness,
Well,
man.
sorry for not getting you on this one, John.
Yeah, John, sorry, man. Our intentions were to get you on today.
Yeah. We had actually my phone died. And I can't.
He couldn't call
I
out,
couldn't call out today. It's a new phone.
and we don't have the connection for
It's there
the better
somewhere.
phone.
It's here. in the land of Louis. I don't know.
It's right behind you, actually.
Actually, I know. It's right. I know where it is.
You're getting warm.
You're getting warm. We had the headphones. We had the connection.
It's just a matter of reaching in there. Maybe next week my phone will be charged. I don't know. But I mean, really, like if we had enough microphones and there's fucking stories that would come out of that. And I didn't. Y'all were what? At least a year or two before I got there. Mm-hmm. Because it was different names, right?
Yeah, because it used to be called Andy Stallions, and then we went to
Slump
Busters,
and then we
went back to Stallions.
Yeah.
The Stallions, yeah.
Because I was there around the time when y'all were. Because in the city, I think y'all were playing at Slump Busters.
Yeah.
And that was when I was kind of getting into it. But yeah, man. One day, John.
One day.
One day we'll get you back. We'll get you on here, man.
I think I have oh man, we can open the garage and wheel them in.
Yeah. Oh, you mean your house is not DEI? You don't have doors wide enough?
Not ADA.
You don't have a ramp either. I'm gonna call. What was the ones that does the inspections?
Code compliance.
Yes, code compliance.
Oh my god,
John, we love you, man.
I will say this though. Like one time, John was looking for he was looking for some shirts for his group, the Umpire. He still has it, right?
Yeah.
So he came to me and he's like, "Yeah, I don't want to get these shirts and blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'll go do them for him." And this was like way in the beginning when we first started our little side business thing. So I make him the shirts, and he takes them, and I was, oh, so great. He was all happy, and So then next thing I know, like the next day, I think it was a Saturday or Sunday, like I'm getting these texts and I'm looking and he's showing me the shirts.
They're all
the
peeling
fucking
off.
letters are falling off. I'm like, oh my God. I said, fuck, John. I said, I'm sorry, bro. I was like, we just started. Like, maybe I didn't have the temperature right. I was coming up with all these excuses.
It didn't say umpire. It said
It wasn't the A team. It was like the team. I was like, oh my God. And he's showing me the letters on the floor. I'm like, oh, dude, I felt real bad.
So you can't have it at 90-degree temperature, John.
And that's why he hasn't called me back.
Was it and he paid for you?
Yeah, he paid for it. But we fixed it. We fixed it. We made him right. And yeah. So
Oh man.
funny story.
Yeah. Well, Hooch used to be, man. We started drinking at 8:00 in the morning.
I couldn't do that. I mean, I was probably still drunk from the night before.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think it was the hair of the dog for us, so we were doing the.
Did you drink? I know you did, but did you?
I couldn't. I can now. I can now with no problem.
That takes away the aches and the pains.
It takes away all the anxiety, man.
So I remember at the beginning, Hooch's wife didn't like me.
No.
She didn't like anybody.
Well, yeah, but she didn't like me because she said that I always brought the flavor of the month,
Oh.
and that then Hooch's attention wasn't on the game anymore.
It wasn't because of that. I'm sure it was because he was drunk.
That's true too.
Jeez. And Chooch would drink Budweiser too.
Yeah, dude.
Budweiser is no joke,
So
man.
he didn't know that the year that Budweiser was made, which is 1876, right?
Yeah.
And I told him that one day, and since that time he was all like 1876, 1876. I think he like was writing it on shit, like.
He wanted to name the team 1876.
But the one that I remember the most, dude, not even Austin. The one I remember the most was down in the valley.
Oh,
And when we were in the hotel lobby, and
yep.
Betty,
Yep.
I'll say her name. I'm sorry, but yeah,
She teaches at the kids' school. It's okay.
she was like so gone, getting on the floor, barking like a dog. Like, whoa, what is going on with this dude? That was those times, man. And then because we have stories, you can imagine that they have stories that they remember. So I can't,
If we would have put them all together, that'd be crazy.
Nah, we need to make that happen. Dude. That would be fun.
Do a Stallions / Lumpbuster reunion.
The Stallions slash some busters slash John's finally on.
And we'll leave him to the very end, right? And now, ladies and gentlemen.
Might have to get a boom mic just to have everybody.
Oh no, I thought you were making stuff funny.
See, I'm not always cutting on John, man. Damn.
A boom mic for what? You're gonna connect it to the.
Say, I got the connection right here. Look, it's already connected. It'll connect to anything. Yeah.
What is it called? What do I call it? The pop filter is ADA, but nothing else is.
Nothing else is.
Oh
my goodness.
Wow. Well, there you go, John. There's your mention.
Yeah.
Thanks for Cranky. Cranky is always good about finding that right
Yeah.
time to toss that name in.
To throw it in. His mention. Like he's he's not calling it a shout out. He calls it a mention. I got my mention.
Yeah, I got my mention.
Yeah.
And all his fans.
And all his fans, yep.
What about us, man?
I know.
Keep telling you that. Shit.
Like and share, John.
Something.
I mean, it's true. I mean, he's got his fans. When we get Sabrina and Christina on, they got their fans. Nobody talks shit about us.
I know. Me and Cranky got no love.
Yes,
I don't think any of
No
us,
love,
man.
man.
None of us have gotten any really.
Oh, you get it because you're the one that gets all the replies and shit.
Yeah, I get the feedback. I'm like, yo, y'all are stupid. Y'all don't know what you're
Y'all
talking
don't know
about.
shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know shit about what you're talking about.
Yeah,
You don't even know bra sizes.
for real.
Like I care.
Like Cranky said, man. In our defense, we're usually taking them off, not putting them on.
We don't look at them and say, what are those? D's? C's?
We're like,
Wow,
just
you
look at
think-
them.
We don't care? You think we care? I don't care what size they are. What else, man? Is that it? What do you...
Well, I mean, we were gonna talk about the dumb lady. Well, we talk about platforms.
Well, we could talk about that.
All right, we talk about
We'll finish
platforms,
it- we'll finish
and then
on
we
that.
talk about, Porky had mentioned, controversial stuff.
And TikTok is a platform.
It is a platform.
If you're brave enough to put shit on TikTok,
Yeah.
you got to be brave enough to deal with the shit
The
that you're talking
consequences,
about,
yeah.
right?
If you're brave enough to put stuff on TikTok, they should be brave enough to say guns and not pew
Not
pew.
pew-pews.
Pew-pews.
Not unalived.
Alive, yes.
There was actually 3. I wanted to talk about the school thing, and I said, you know what? My mind was changing.
What, the vouchers?
Yeah.
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 We
decided-
can touch that because
We'll do
it's
that.
not going away.
Yeah, we'll talk
We can
about
talk
that.
about that next week.
But this TikTok came across, and basically it was like a stitch, right? So the first part was the lady, and she comes out, and she's basically saying, like, I don't know why we have to give veterans discount. Why do we got to give them 10%? Blah blah blah. And then it cuts, and there's a guy he's in a wheelchair, and he has no legs. He's missing half his right arm, and he's like, you know what, lady? He's like, if I gave up. The way he said it was like, I gave up a good portion. I gave a good percentage of my body to this country. He goes, and if a business wants to give me 10%, I'm gonna take that fucking 10%, right?
It's only 10% too, man. It's
And
not
that's
like
what
it's
they
like-
do.
You know?
It's 10, 15% the most.
I mean,
Really.
so it depends on what it is and where you go, right? For the most part, it's 10%. There's places that only give 5%. But there's places that give 15%, and I've seen places that do 20%, which is, I get it, right? But this lady who goes by, her handle is Hopeful Love Bird. I mean, I'm guessing she needed a name long enough to cover her presence.
If she was in space, she'd take up a whole lot of gravity.
If you were behind her and wanted to tell her in her face, you'd need a half a tank of gas. So
You need more than a half a tank.
you need more than a half a tank of gas.
It was in the clip.
Yeah. What did I want to say? I'd tell you to your face, but my car only has half a tank of gas. He said, how dare you say that behind my back? I'll tell you to your face. But yeah, so she came out on a rant and basically was saying that, she doesn't agree with the 10% discount for veterans. First of all, they're already getting paid off of the taxpayers' dollars.
That's the same girl? That
lady,
same
yeah.
She's an older lady.
Yeah, an older lady. And she's saying that she doesn't agree with it because they're already getting paid off the taxpayers' dollars, according to her, right? Not knowing or not realizing that they have to pay taxes to, all this stuff. But
Not realizing that that's a job?
Yeah, that it's a job.
You know.
Right? She goes on this rant that she just doesn't agree with it, that how come she can't get benefits? How come, only they can get benefits? How come she can't get benefits? And, of course, she got tore into by social media. People were telling her that she, these people, a lot of them go to combat. A lot of them, the freedom that she has to make these TikToks, how do you think she has it, right? All this stuff. She eventually, so many people stitched this. I mean, I saw like probably 12 to 15 of different ones. I went to her page and she removed it. She removed the video. And then she started another video starting off by saying, people make mistakes, right?
Did someone say steak?
Exactly.
Cakes and pies, cakes and pies.
And so she's kind of trying, I guess, to justify herself, but she goes to say that the only reason she posted it was, I guess she was struggling getting views on her TikTok.
Oh, for clout.
And so she says that somebody told her, you need to post something that's controversial and you're going to go viral. And so she said she had a few things in mind, but this is one that she thought, and she doesn't say she doesn't disagree with it. She just says,
why?
I posted it to be controversial so I can get views. And that it backfired on her.
Oh, yeah.
And so she ended up having to take it down. But so
did it really backfire on her? I mean, that's the point of her posting it was to get.
and she got
Because that's the kind of clout you're gonna get if you post something like that.
But we say it all the time. Like, even bad publicity is still publicity.
Right. And it still got her views.
It still got her views. Yeah. I mean, even though people are talking crap about her and posting about her, now the same thing about the girl that we eventually are going to talk about, Ash Trevino, it's the same thing. She gets a lot of people mentioning her and talking about her because they're talking crap about her because they don't believe and they don't, what she does. They don't agree with it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are against her. But what you're doing is you're giving her views, and she's making money off of you.
That's what I tell Roxanne.
Yeah.
I'm like, all these people, she's popular because all these people made her popular because they keep, it's a shit show that they keep watching.
Well, and that's the thing.
Yeah,
they want to see what's the next. They want to see
maybe.
They want to see what the next stupid thing she's gonna do.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
And so this lady got the same thing. However, I think she realized, oh shoot, this isn't what I wanted.
Oops.
Took it down, put that other one,
And she tried to backtrack.
She backtracked, right?
she
But
make-
still,
yeah.
she, like I said, she never disagreed with what she said. So people still continue to
Right.
bash her on it, but it brought up the question, 10% better. Like, do people agree with it? Do people not agree with it? I'm not gonna lie. I've seen people get upset when it's been offered or people take it.
Why?
I don't know, but I've seen that.
What? So my question was, man, before you brought that up, because I didn't know that, but my question was like, you had to say something about something that, nobody was talking about. And to what you just mentioned is that's the reason why she did it, right?
Yeah.
She's going to cause problems. So now I know why she did it. But it's not your fucking, if you're not a veteran, why does it why are you bothered by it?
Well, and the thing, that's exactly the same thing. It doesn't affect you.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't, if it's not directly affecting
Taxpayer
you,
dollars, like really, like are you?
And it's funny because if you're mad about 10%, how mad are you gonna be on Veterans Day and Memorial Day
when they get a free meal,
when they get a free meal?
When they get mattresses for 60% off.
yeah, you get 10 wings at Hooters, you get a free meal at Buff's, you get free breakfast at IHOP. Like they get all these things.
Right.
So then you're gonna be more mad. I mean, because it's only 10%, basically covering the tax.
Yeah.
Basically covering the tax.
Yeah, basically.
That's all it's covering.
That's 8%. That's.
So my family is full of veterans, right?
And that was the point I was going to bring up too.
Yes. So our dad served.
Right.
Right. My uncles, I have cousins. I have my nephews. My nephew is in the Marines. I have a nephew leaving to the Army next week.
Damn.
My son was in the Air Force, right? He's in the Air Force. So I have all these, military family. I'll tell you like this. My dad, hell yeah, he's gonna take advantage of that shit.
hell
He's
yeah.
always gonna ask, you take military discount?
Hello?
He's always
and
gonna
he's
ask.
of age anyway, right?
Yeah,
so he's got to
70
get some
something years old. So he could care less what anybody has to say about it. You know, and he'll tell them to their face or behind their back or drive around. He don't care. He'll tell them. But I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of people like my son. He doesn't.
He don't care.
No.
I mean, he doesn't go for it.
My
you know?
brother-in-law,
Not a big deal.
he don't care either.
Yeah.
He will ask for it, but he don't care what anybody has to say. Matter of fact, he'll be like, "Hey, we're going over here. Hey, they take military discount. Let's go and you know, I'll put it towards the thing."
Yep.
Great, right? But like my son, he doesn't mention that he's in the military. He doesn't broadcast it. Whenever he was in uniform and people wanted to go somewhere, he would go home and change because he doesn't want the attention.
Right.
Honestly, it happened because of people like this, where they go to a spot, they're at lunch or they're somewhere, and people would go to shake his hand and then talk shit to him about, oh yeah, all you're doing is backing up this, you know, dumbass people that want to be in war, blah blah blah. You know, first would start off with thank you for your service for blah, and then start taking shots at him, and he's like, you know, and my son is real. He's real calm, real collected. He won't react.
Right.
But if you push his buttons far enough, then you'll get his dad's version of him. You know what I mean?
And grandpa probably.
And grandpa,
right,
yeah.
right.
But he's very calm. And my dad's the same way. My dad's chill, dude. He's calm. He could care less what you have to say as long as you're not physical or put your hands anywhere. He don't care. My son's the same way. He's gonna let you talk, but he doesn't like the attention, so he just would rather not. So he's not gonna go up there and be like, "You take this," right? Right away. He doesn't do that. There's people that, and I saw a lot of videos, a lot of stitches of people saying the same thing. Half the time we don't even ask for it.
Yeah.
People, when you go to the register, I mean, I've gone to a register. Are you military or first responder? And I'm like, oh no, okay, so they don't give you a discount. But people are offering this.
Yeah.
Bro, if I was in that position, if I was a first responder, if I was in the military, damn right I'd be saying yes. Okay, you get a discount. Great, thank you.
Yep.
Like, why not? Yeah. They're offering it for a reason, because they're thanking you for your service. And so for people to have an issue about it, and there are plenty of people that have an issue about it.
You know, you could go to a website and all veterans can get cheaper tickets if they have them.
Yep.
VetTix. Yeah.
Yep.
Go to VetTix. You can get.
Oh, my brother-in-law was always telling my son, "Hey, did you go to VetTix? You know they have Spurs tickets right now that they're giving away, or they have them for $10." Like, yeah.
Yeah, don't let her find out about that. She'll be pissed off about that too.
Yeah.
Cranky? No. You ever took advantage of it?
No.
Yeah. Do you have it on your driver's license? No.
But do you have how do you feel like about them getting the?
Dude, what? Like,
What does it matter?
it does. You know, I don't care. What the hell? My brother gets 100% disability.
Stitch him into that.
Exactly.
Find that video and stitch her in.
Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously stupid to even try and bring it up, whether it was for clout or really that's how she really felt. When, you know, oh, now I'm going to backtrack. And I don't really feel that way, but still.
I mean, obviously,
That's stupid.
Obviously, if she brought it up, I get it to be controversial. But maybe if it was just to be controversial, let's pose a question. I think this is how she really felt.
Yes. That's.
And felt like, well, this is the most controversial thing I can say. But this is how she felt, because she was I don't like this. Like, that's what she was doing. And I'm like, I mean, everything was moving while she's doing this, right? But I'm like, bro, like, this is really how you felt. And then now you're going to backtrack. I only did it because, no, you felt like this. You felt like this, and there's a lot of people, bro, that feel like that.
You chose something that it has no effect on you.
Exactly.
You're not paying for it. The
Yeah.
business is offering it.
And the business is the one having
This
to.
is the one that's
yes.
taking that 5%, 10%, 20%. Like, it doesn't. Why does it fucking bother you? Oh, my taxpayer. Now, fuck you and your taxpayer money. Like, we all.
Does it
all
bother
our dads
you?
served.
Does it bother you that when an officer goes and gets a free meal? Because
Well, it should.
No, but what I'm saying is that's
Well,
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
to
Like
her.
for her,
To her, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
because she didn't bring that up, but they're not getting free meals except for Veterans Day. They're getting a discount.
Yeah. I mean,
But officers go. So you have a problem. Why? Because they're.
So what would you say? Like, let's say she had a business. She had a restaurant, right? So if she feels that way, if she's not going to offer it.
She don't have to offer it.
So if she doesn't have to, but if people are going to come up and say, hey, do you take a veterans discount? What do you think you're going to do when she says no?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I've gone to places and it's been asked and they say no. Okay.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
Not a big deal. They're not going to you and be like, really? Why not? Why not? Right? No. They're just saying, okay.
I want my 10%.
Yeah, I don't get my 10%. Cool.
F you.
Well, it's so military gets 10% discount, and it's the guys. I mean, like y'all are pretty much arguing for it. Like, why are you mad? Why not?
Yeah.
They should be mad at senior citizen discounts. Cause what have they done?
Just gotten old and
Crankier than me. Get off my lawn.
you're a bad influence.
Damn. It was those meddling kids.
So why did they get discount? Because
Yeah.
they just outlived everybody, and they just.
Oh, way to wake up this morning.
Here's
You
10%.
Way to go.
I mean, they actually get their own menu now. I mean, in a lot of places.
Sorry, you cannot order off of. Only senior citizens can order off
Hey,
of
we're
this
not far
menu.
from it, bro.
Hey,
Shut up, dude.
7 years, man. 6 years for somebody.
55?
yes.
Is that it now?
Yes.
Oh,
Is it really?
Yes,
Yeah.
dude. I've seen a lot of places that are 55 and over get senior citizen discount.
And you know what?
I'll definitely
yes,
take advantage of it, bro.
Blam, blam.
It'll be like Wayne's World, man.
Craig is showing his
badge, his ID.
his backstage.
But you know what? And that was the whole reason why I thought of what I did on the way over here. Because I was thinking about age.
Yeah,
That was the whole point about it. I'll be 50 years old next year.
yeah.
In a year, basically, in January. 50 fucking years old.
9
When I was
months, but-
21, 22, I didn't even think about being 50. I just thought about the pussy I was going to get.
Yeah.
That's all I did. Who's next? That's what we were thinking about when we were younger. And that's why it was so heavy on my mind, because I actually started thinking how old we're getting. And that's what really started getting me thinking about all that stuff.
You're 9 months away, man.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Hell's this year crap.
What's this year?
We're
So
really
you're
Assholes.
I mean, I don't think that's any fun year, but we're a year away.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm
Well,
actually
if you-
21 months away, but well,
I mean, and I understand that there's people that don't ask for it. I mean, if they're veterans, I'm not in that situation. I'm not a veteran, or they don't have to ask for it. They might, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Ask for it. I mean, you deserve something. I mean, yeah,
and more often than not, it's offered.
yeah.
And not only that, if they're putting it on the menu or they're putting it on their store or they have a sign at the register that says military discount,
Yeah.
again, like you said, it's the business offering it. Be more upset at the business than at the people that are getting it, because it's the business that's offering it.
Right. Yeah.
Right? You have a beef with it, but it's not with the people getting it, because it's not that like they demanded it. It's being offered. They're just taking advantage of the offer. when you go to a grocery store, you go to a department store, and it says 50% off. You're taking advantage of the 50% off. You're taking advantage of the offer.
You don't think with her size she's gonna be there getting all the food?
Exactly, or the 50% off, because
Come on.
I'm pretty sure the quadruple X is a lot more expensive than, you know what I mean? Like, so 50% off? It's only $24 now? You know what I mean? For your moo-moo? Yes. So, of course, like, you're going to take advantage of the 50% off, but it's because it's being offered. So, if a Macy's offers that to you, are you going to say, I disagree with me getting a 50%? Why? You're not going to argue that.
God, yeah, right. If businesses have the right to refuse service to anyone, they have the right to give anybody a percentage off. Mm-hmm. Oh, God. Well, we're all over the map today, guys.
All over the map today.
All over.
Raj, have fun.
Yeah, Raj with his Blackhawks playing.
Yeah.
I think they're playing too. All right. Nobody else? Hot shots? Quick shots? No. Nothing?
I think we talked about everything.
I think we got. Yeah. No. I want to go into the voucher thing next week. I think more or less because I want to know what she has to say about it.
Yeah.
And what Christina has to say about it.
Oh no, she definitely has, and both of them do. And I think Christina touched on it a little bit.
She might have.
I think she touched on it a little bit, but I know that Sabrina does have a take on it because because it's definitely gonna affect, like, it's gonna affect people, and
it's only helping the rich.
exactly.
But, yeah, we'll get into that.
Yep.
We don't want to go another 30 minutes, you know. All right. Well then, that's it, man. Nothing else.
No, man. Like I say, we got a lot of. I mean, we continue to get feedback. We love it on our social media.
Give it to us. Put it in our face.
Put it in our face.
That was a Lords of Acid song. You remember that?
Yes.
Sit on my face.
Yeah.
Sit on your
I literally
face.
get one small phrase text sometimes from people. The Africaners mic drop. The Save Act mic drop. Like, I get all these little things just thrown.
Really?
As they're listening, they just throw little shots. So keep listening, keep sending feedback, you know.
Yeah. Thank you, Canada.
Like and share.
Like and share. Thank you, Canada. Thank you.
Answer the questions.
Maine. Check out our website. Our Facebook, Instagram.
Not our website, our social
we don't
media.
have a website. It's
TikTok.
It's www.onlyfans.com/uncanceledculture. Go check it out.
Yeah.
No. All right, man. That's it. We'll talk to you guys later.
Peace.